Welcome to What's Anime. Today we're going to talk about visual storytelling in a film, and really what makes good visual storytelling. Ghost in the Shell has some of the best uses of visual storytelling in any film, and today we're just going to look at one scene in particular that uses this technique. 2 points to add about visual storytelling is that it adds ease of following the story, and also for the audience, they can tell what's going on without any dialogue really happening, using the visuals around them to tell the story. Let's watch this scene from the film in which a man is being interrogated by Togusa, but the information that he's actually telling him is mostly about his memories and about how he was just hacked, and that a lot of his memories that he thinks he remembers aren't really true. We also see his apartment and how it's empty, and how it doesn't really add up to the information he just told him. This leads him to believe that he had just been hacked and his memories replaced with someone else's. And for most part, he doesn't really believe them until he sees the picture, but this time he sees the picture is much different than before. A while back, we were able to see that he saw his family in the photo, but this time as he looks into the picture, he actually realizes that that's not actually what he was actually seeing, and that it was just a picture of himself and his dog. And at the same time, we see Makoto and Bato watching him behind the glass as given the information about his memories. Also a focus on Makoto and what she is thinking during this interrogation. We also change to a new shot, but still focusing on her, really kind of emphasizing what she is thinking about this situation. So let's analyze this scene individually in frames. In the first photo, we see a man being interrogated. He seems to have the face that he doesn't really know what's going on or what's happening, but we, the audience, knows because of the story. But if we just look at this visually, it does say a lot. One way is the way Togusa is handling interrogation. It's not an intense or serious, like he believes that he knows something kind of look. He's actually treating him fairly nice, and he looks like he's explaining something to him, almost in a way that he feels bad for him. In the next shot, we get a frame of his apartment, and the first thing we notice is that it's very empty, it's dark, and we see the covers pulled back to see the city. The TV is on with no one watching, and the room itself is just unused and very dark inside. It very much looks like a person who lives alone lives there. In this next frame, we see the man looking at a photo, and he has a face of an expression that he kind of realized something, and it's almost like he's seeing something he never saw before, which is surprising him and shocking him. And in the context of the frame, the man is seeing the true photo of what he thought was his family, only to realize that that's not what he was seeing this whole time, kind of leaving the entire motivation of his actions kind of useless, based on a story that wasn't even true. In the next shot, we see both Makoto and Bato watching the interrogation, and the man reacting to the photo through the glass. From this position, we get the feeling that this is just a routine job, and that they're just here because of the case they're involved in. But what really changes is in the next photo. This is when things get more interesting. We get a close-up of Makoto and looking at her looking at the man, as well as a reflection. In this frame, we close up on Makoto. We see her face and her reaction to this. It's as if she can relate to this man she's looking at. We even see herself reflected off the glass. A technique in filmmaking is having the person on the right have the upper hand, and to relate this to the photo, her reflection's on the right inside the interrogation room with the man whose memories was erased and manipulated, leaving the real Makoto on the outside. This is a blank stare that may seem like nothing, but actually tells a lot the more when you take a moment to analyze it. We ask the question, what is she thinking? Does she feel like she is just like the man inside, or is she afraid that the same thing has already happened to her? This is a great shot because it not only makes us question everything that's going on, but we get to know our main character without any dialogue. We get to have a sense of what she thinks about and what's really important to her. And that leads to the next photo, which is a very similar shot to the previous one, but in terms of tone and color, it's completely different. This time we get to see her full face, as well as everything behind her, leaving a much different color, much colder color this time. And we see that she's still looking at the man, but this time you almost question, is she actually looking at the man or something else, because she's in different thought. All these photos all relate to each other through visual storytelling and really show how good a film can be when you use visuals to tell the story instead of through the dialogue and exposition. Also giving you an opportunity to really analyze and even go deeper than a film really expects you to do. There are a lot of other anime and films that you can really notice visual storytelling used great. All you gotta do is look for them. This is What's Anime, and see you next time.